Bonjour! Are you preparing for DELF B2? If you are, then this video is for you. Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti! Today we are looking at writing a formal letter for DELF B2, and this video especially for a student I will call Marie who failed B2. I'm using one of her letters with the hope that she will understand why she didn't pass her exams. Before we start writing, here's a table which will help you to understand what you have to do. On the left, the 5 criteria for DELF B2. In the middle, what it means. And the last column was left blank so that you can complete it. If you cannot, this means that you haven't completed the task correctly. So as you can see, you are asked to write clear arguments with examples and obviously put your opinion as well. With the structure, it has to be well organized with the use of connectors, and it has to be logical. For the socio-linguistic appropriateness, you have to decide whether it's a formal or informal letter, whether you're going to use tu or vous. For the vocabulary, you need to have a wide range of vocabulary and use synonyms so that you don't repeat the same words over and over. And of course, your good spelling and accents, you need to write your accents as well. And grammar at B2, it has to be mastery. So I'm going to read the past paper. Please remember that it always starts with the context before the task. Vous êtes de plus en plus nombreux dans votre entreprise à avoir des enfants en bas âge. De plus, vous souffrez du manque d'espace dans vos bureaux. Now the task. Au nom de vos collègues, vous écrivez au directeur pour demander à ce que chacun puisse travailler chez lui. Vous lui indiquez les avantages du travail à distance, en plus de ceux déjà cités, et le bénéfice que l'entreprise pourrait en tirer. 250 mots environ. So, first thing to do is to read this over and underline the important elements. So this is what I've done. I underlined au nom de vos collègues, meaning I'm going to write on behalf of other people. But who am I going to write to? The director. So straight away I know it's a formal letter, I have to use vous. And then the task will be really to ask that people work from home. Then I underlined les avantages and le bénéfice. So already I know what I'm going to be talking about. Here are some rules for you to remember. Rule number 1, take on a French identity. You cannot use your real name. All exams are anonymous. Rule number 2, learn one French address so that you can put it in your letter. Rule number 3, learn at least one greeting with beginning and end for a formal letter. And rule number 4, remember that a word is a series of letters between spaces. Therefore, if you see j'ai, you cannot count it as 2 words, but 1. The same with c'est-à-dire. Since you have the hyphens, it's only 1 word. This is the upper part of Mary's letter. And there are 3 main mistakes here. The first one, the position of the addresses is incorrect. Number 2, the 3 X's you can see on the left represent in fact the name that she put. So she actually used her real name, which, as I explained before, you cannot do. And number 3, the postcodes are really wrong, and I'm going to explain something about them. Mary used a postcode for Paris. You need to know that the postcode for Paris starts with a 7 and a 5. 75, and you need to remember that there's 20 districts, so whatever comes after will be the number of the district. So if I'm talking about the 8th district, I'm going to put 75008. If, for example, I'm looking at the 17th district, I'm going to put 75017. That's how it works for Paris. If you don't want to use Paris, you can use others like Rouen, which is the first one because that's where I used to live, Lille, Nice, Rennes, Strasbourg. So at least if you're not using Paris, you can use one of them. As a subject, Mary wrote that it was about les avantages du travail à distance et le bénéfice pour l'entreprise. In fact, it's not what the letter is all about. The letter is about requesting that everybody works from home. So I put demande de travail à distance. This is how you should present your letter, with the sender on the left, the receiver on the right. Then don't forget to write the name of the city where you are writing the letter from, not where you live, that is something else, and your subject. Now my plan. Your letter should start with an introduction with the reasons for writing, and that could be up to 25 words. Then you could talk about the advantages of working remotely, and that could be 100 words, and then the benefits for the company, and that again 100 words, and then you conclude with 25 words. So this is really to make it 250, but I can assure you that this is not going to work exactly like that. But at least if you have 4 parts this way, you can control the number of words more easily. This is my introduction. Monsieur le directeur, au nom de mes collègues, je me permets de vous demander d'instaurer le télétravail dans votre entreprise. Comme vous le savez, nous sommes de plus en plus nombreux, mais nous souffrons d'un manque d'espace dans vos bureaux, et en tant que parents, nous avons des difficultés au niveau de la garderie de nos enfants en bas âge. I underlined je me permets de, which is a very good expression to use when you are requesting somebody to do something for you in a very polite way, because we're talking about the directeur. For the les avantages, I'm going to write this. Tout d'abord, je voudrais attirer votre attention sur les avantages que présente le télétravail pour nous, mais aussi pour l'entreprise. Mes collègues et moi sommes plus à l'aise chez nous qu'au bureau, et rester chez soi résoudrait le problème d'espace. En plus, le temps que nous passons dans les embouteillages pour aller au bureau est une véritable source de stress et de fatigue. Et une fois arrivés, nous voulons dormir. Par ailleurs, la garde de nos enfants s'avère difficile car les places sont limitées à cause de la fermeture des garderies depuis Covid-19. Grâce à ce mode de travail, nous pourrions organiser plus facilement leur garde tout en travaillant et tout en étant plus productifs. Je voudrais attirer votre attention sur, another good expression for you to remember, I would like to draw your attention to. I have to admit, for the second part on the benefit for the company, I couldn't think of other things, so it only gave me 42 words, and I expected to write a little bit more, but I couldn't think of anything else. If you can, please write it in the comment below. Alright, so il n'en demeure pas moins que l'entreprise peut en tirer profit. Vous verriez des diminutions du montant des factures d'eau, d'électricité, de téléphone, de papier utilisé pour le photocopieur, qui ne seraient pas négligeables et qui vous permettraient de faire d'importantes économies. Voilà. Donc, I use il n'en demeure pas moins que, which means the fact remains that. So I was trying to put an idiom, a little expression in each part. Now my conclusion. Finalement, je souhaiterais insister sur la nécessité de passer au travail en ligne. Je suis convaincue que cela pourrait réduire toute contamination du point de vue sanitaire et rendre les salariés plus heureux et plus épanouis. En effet, une main-d'œuvre heureuse engendre du travail productif. So that's how I ended my letter with 46 words here. And now we need to have the greeting. Dans l'attente d'une réponse favorable, je vous prie d'agréer, Monsieur le directeur, mes salutations respectueuses. Here I use respectueuse as opposed to distingué because I'm talking or I'm writing to my boss. So here, a new expression for you if you don't know it. Je souhaiterais insister sur la nécessité de. So I wish to insist on the need to. This is what the letter should look like without the words like introduction, conclusion, etc. And it came up to 281 words. And that is because I used many expressions, especially for you. We don't expect so many of them in one letter anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. And then you have to sign at the bottom with your French name. A quick recap on the connectors. So you have tout d'abord, first of all, en plus, in addition, par ailleurs, besides, finalement, finally. A quick recap on the idioms I used. Je me permets de, which you use when you want to ask something very politely. Je voudrais attirer votre attention sur, which means I would like to draw your attention to. Je voudrais insister sur, I would like to insist on. Il n'en demeure pas moins que, the fact remains that. I hope you found the video helpful, and the best way to thank me is to show that you like the video. So you can write a nice comment, you can like the video, or you can even subscribe to the channel to get some more of those types of videos. Until next time, au revoir!